Kawasaki, Garage Technology Ventures, of course, his wonderful blog. And here is a book, and I have to read this book, cover to cover, What the Plus on Google Plus. Wait a minute, Guy Kawasaki's Apple. Let's bring him in from our San Francisco News Bureau. Why did you choose to write on Google Plus? How fired up are you about it, Guy?
I happen to have fallen in love with Google Plus, and I've been on Twitter and Facebook, obviously. But when I saw Google Plus the first time, it was sort of a eye-opening experience. I love the aesthetics. I love the ability to edit, and I think the comments are of higher quality and larger quantity there.
Yeah, I like that summary. Come on over here if you would, Victor. I want to show you my Google Plus page, and I really thank Guy for this, for giving me some ideas. Like, here's my ugly photo, which was a TV shoot. Here's Summer wearing a tour jacket, Jeff Sachs, Bob Schiller, John Riding, Gartman. Here's Mr. Roach. Here's our headquarters, and great, great, great videos. Guy, the seamlessness of Google Plus with YouTube, is that a game changer?
It's one of many game changers. I think you'll also start loving hanging out, where you can have up to 10 people on a video conference at once for free. So, these are some of the features that Google Plus have brought to social media that just weren't available anyplace else. In a sense, it's kind of the Macintosh of social media networks.
I like that idea, but is it enough to take bodies from Facebook? Do they need to get to 300 million users to really become competitive?
Well, yeah, Google Plus is not two guys in a garage with $1 million of seed capital. Google Plus is Google, and they basically control the river of traffic. I would not bet against Google Plus.
Yeah, I like this idea. Let's look at this chart over here. Victor, wander off there, the Facebook video stuff, and there it is, create circle. Circles is what it's about. Here's Kawasaki, what the Facebook. Okay, Facebook is going public. You say Google Plus is going to work. Do they need to fold Twitter, or do they need to fold Instagram into it to really begin to compete with Facebook?
Well, I don't think it's as simple as calling up Instagram or calling up Twitter and buying them. Honestly, I think Google Plus can do it on its own. It has, as I say, Google controls the river of traffic. In a sense, it owns the playing field, much less trying to tilt the playing field. And so now that it's integrated Google Plus results into search, that's also a game changer, arguably one of the biggest game changers, because now when you search for a topic, you see not only what Google traditionally would have provided, but also what your friends on Google Plus have said about the same subject. And that makes search that much more relevant. Is
the sell side fired up about Google Plus? How does it fold into revenues or down the Google income statement?
Well, I'm not a financial person.
Sure, understand that.
But it seems to me that the more relevant the search, the more you can monetize that search. And by including your social results in it, that definitely makes it more relevant and more personal.
I look at technology out there. We're doing sort of an end of the first quarter show. What did you learn about Silicon Valley in the last 90 days? What did you learn, the whole zeitgeist thing out there? What changed over the last 3 months?
Well, you have to be continuously impressed with Apple. It introduced this iPad with a much more beautiful display. And the tablet business is a very interesting business right now, with Samsung and Apple and Motorola going at it. I love the tablet business, so I think that's a very interesting market.
I do. I find myself using it more. It's an elegant chart, folks. We've showed this with Guy before. Kawasaki on technological progress. There's Apple with a new leg up, as Guy mentions, the tablet. And that yellow line at the bottom is a train wreck known as Microsoft. Give us an update, Guy, on these non-performers. People like RIM, people like Microsoft. What do they do to catch up with technological progress, or that squishy word you love to use, innovation? What do they do to start innovating?
Well, like Google, I would never count out Microsoft. I mean, there's a lot of smart people with infinite resources up there in Washington. And you can't underestimate the tenacity of Steve Ballmer, that's for sure. As far as RIM, that's a more difficult question, because if you think about it, what is unique and valuable about RIM anymore? I guess you could say it's the phone with the keypad on it, but is that enough to make a phone successful? I think they announced sort of a return to their corporate business yesterday. I don't have advice for RIM. I think that's a really tough sell.
Why is everybody going after Google? Why is Apple going after Google? Why is Facebook going after Google?
Well, because if you control the world's search traffic, that's a very good thing to own. And you know, there are many alternate devices, right? I mean, you can buy a Samsung tablet, an Apple tablet, HTC tablet, Motorola tablet, but where does everybody go? Just you know, total gut reaction. When you want to search for something, where do you go? Google.
I totally agree.
That's a great habit to be the owner of.
I'm old enough to remember a guy Dogpile, which was pre-Google, and the fact is we go to Google because it works. Is that due to their patent quality? What is the secret sauce that makes me go to Google?
You know, Google has a lot of smart people. I mean, they really understand the search business beyond anybody else. So, and then it becomes sort of this upward spiral where the more people search at Google, the more people want to search at Google, the more people want to search, the more people search, and then you get the resources to continually make it a better search engine. You know, when you're hitting it on all cylinders, I mean, life is good.
Guy, I'm honored to ask you this question, which is, I love David Kirkpatrick's The Facebook Effect because it shows that these young kids that write the code and that are thinking up the concepts that you report on each and every day, they're really smart and they're really different. What is the #1 thing me and my viewers get wrong about these smart kids that write code? What's the thing we most get wrong about the code writers of Silicon Valley?
You probably ascribe too much of their motivation to making money. I think the genesis of the great tech companies from Silicon Valley, it was 2 guys in a garage, 2 gals in a garage, a guy and a gal in a garage, and they were not answering the question, how do we make money? They were answering the question, you know, wouldn't it be neat if? So wouldn't it be neat if there was a personal computer? Wouldn't it be neat if there was a better way to search? Wouldn't it be neat if there was a way to upload video and share it? Wouldn't it be neat if there would be a place where I could sell Pez dispensers online? So that's the question that, you know, geeks and nerds in Silicon Valley are answering. But I think the rest of the world thinks that they're asking the question, how do we make a boatload of money?
I totally agree with a bit of an engineering background. And to me, when you say what if, it's an applied questioning, an applied background that's so strong out there and so misrepresented by this word innovation. I go back to technological progress. How does Guy Kawasaki define the word innovation?
I would define innovation as creating products and services for people prior to them realizing that they need it.
I like that idea. How do you define Steve Jobs' wonderful use of the word aesthetic? This idea of design and aesthetic that certain companies have.
When you look up in the dictionary the word aesthetic, it should say, you know, see Steve Jobs and have a picture of him. He had this great sense for what elegance is, how people want to interact with a computer or a phone or a tablet or an MP3 device. I think that was one of the keys to his success, that he truly understood, you know, what people wanted before they could articulate it themselves, and he also understood how to minimize the difficulty of interaction between person and machine.
Guy, thank you so much.